Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again for another night of Facebook Live. I also like to recognize those that catch the replay from YouTube and or SoundCloud. It is indeed a blessing to be here with you tonight. I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. It just showed me I was having some technical difficulty or something there, so I do hope that it is streaming okay and that you're able to hear me okay. It was a little glitch there in the video. So nonetheless, tonight we're talking about family ties. Tonight, our topic tonight is about family ties. And as most of you know, I have been reluctant to do this particular topic, and much of it is because of the sensitive nature of the topic, but also I know that it is a very necessary topic. And the topics that I am covering this week are all audience picked topics, and so I hope that as I do this video tonight that it gives you the resolution and the comfort you need, the answers that you seek as I cover these topics. So as you guys are joining me tonight, as always, go ahead and like and share this video. Like and share this video. Also feel free to give me a shout out and let me know that you're here in the comment section. Nonetheless, if you have a question or something you'd like to add, just some added insight, feel free to put that and share that in the comments with us tonight. We'd love to hear from you. One thing about this platform is that we try to look at all perspectives. I'm here talking about this topic, and it's just one perspective. You may not agree, or you may have a different perspective about the topic, and give us your comments, give us your feedback, let us know what you think, and I'll be respectful, and hopefully that everyone else who comes across the videos will model that same level of respect for how you feel or your comment as it relates to family ties. Sherry, hey baby, how are you? Glad to have you tonight. Tonight is a sensitive topic. We all have family members. Some we love, some that we love to get close to, and some that we love to stay as far away from as possible. But we love them, and so this is a very controversial topic. It is a topic that I don't take lightly. And me, myself, I shared with you guys that the topic from last night and the topic tonight are the two topics that I've been putting off. I've been putting off for a while for reasons that when I bring topics to you guys at nighttime, I have to address and sit in and look at and be aware of my own feelings and my own emotions and my own relationships and my own issues as it relates to the subjects that we talk about. It's easy for someone to come up and preach to the choir. However, it's more impactful when we can look into our own self and look in our own relationships and just support one another. And that is what I want to do here. I want to be a support for you and to let you know that I myself have issues with many of the topics that I talk about. And so I have to be willing to tap into my own personal issues and speak from a place that is real and not something that is just staged and made up to look like something that it's not. So in this area, anybody that knows me know that I'm a personal person, but even in being personal, I have to share that all my relationships as it relates to family, friends or partners, or however you look at it, all of my relationships are not healthy. And some of those ties, as they relate to the toxicity of those relationships, I have broken many of those ties. And some of those ties still today are stretched so thin, at any moment they will break. And so um, I want to look at, how do we know when it's time to break those ties? How do we know when it's time to love people from a distance and not give them so much of our space, or so much of our time, or so much of our money, or so much of just them pulling so much and draining so much from us? So I hope you're ready to dive in with me. I see most of you are logged on, and so let's get started tonight. Don't forget to like and share this video. Don't forget to give me a shout out. Don't forget to comment as we go along. It's okay. All right, it is okay. I love to hear from you. So family ties. Now we know that family. We know what typically that looks like. That's a mother, daughter, parent, child, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, cousin relationship. Also, family ties can be any organization or group that you're close uh, to or involved in. It can also be friendships that you've created over the years. It can be partnerships, spouses, uh, business relations. So there's all kinds of, when I say the word family, what that looks like. Because a family unit is just a group of people together, whether they're bound by a common um, interest or biologically. So when is it okay to break these family ties? And I know that for several of you, you have that someone in your life that you can think of, and you probably thought of automatically, that just came to your mind, that, you know, they drain me. They drain my energy. They're always taking, and never giving. And it's always this guilt trip, and it's always this emotion, and it's always this condescending behavior. And so those people you may or may not spend a lot of time around. But as a result of it, there's always something or someone that causes you to reflect on that and feel guilty as a result of it. Well, I'm telling you tonight, as I sit here as honest as I can be, many of you know that I have several half siblings. And I don't call them half, uh, but just so that you get the dynamic of what I'm talking about here tonight, I have several half siblings on both my mom's side and my dad's side. So biologically, we are related. We are connected in some kind of way. Now, so that you see my picture that I'm building on, the range of our relationships, some of us are up here and some of us are here. And then there are those that float somewhere in between. Okay? So those relationships are what they are and have evolved in what they have evolved in over the years. Now, with that being said, they're all my siblings and I love them. But they all cannot occupy that relationship in that space that I give them, or that time that I give them, all the same. All of it looks different. From the eldest to the youngest, it all looks different. And that's because you have people in your life that are either going to add value to you. There are people in your life that share the value that you guys can pour into one another. And there are those that add absolutely no value to you at all. And so this is where I want you to focus tonight as I'm talking about these family ties. That person or those people that came to your mind when I was talking about how they drained you so much, think about it and ask yourself the question. Write it down, look at it, whatever it looks like for you. Are they adding value to you? Are you both mutually adding value to one another? Or are they absolutely add no value to your life at all? And then this will help you decide whether or not breaking those ties is necessary in that situation. Because it's easy for me to say what my tolerance level is, that, oh no, it's just time to break it off. We're not the same people. So we're going to respond to people differently because we have different experiences. Our level of tolerance is different. So I can't say, oh, it's time to break it off. It's time. I wouldn't give them my time. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Or you may say that I'm harsh in the way that I handle family ties and toxic relationships. So let's just be our own judge. Let's be persuaded by our own experience. Let's be persuaded by just looking within and not being judgmental whether or not someone else should eliminate a relationship or not. And so all I can do is share with you how I feel, my perception, and what I've came up with so that I can help you in making that decision um, for you, whether or not it's necessary to break your family ties. So, uh, three things. Do they add value to you? Are you mutually adding value to each other? Or are they absolutely adding no value whatsoever? And they're going to fall in that category. They are absolutely going to fall one or the other. And it may look different. Okay? So, I look at some of my siblings. That is the relationship that I'm looking at when I look at family ties. I have some that adds absolutely no value to my life whatsoever. So they get absolutely none of my time, and their emergencies are not mine. So I don't get in a hurry when they need something. I don't get in a hurry when they're calling. I don't get in a hurry to return messages and things like that. Absolutely no value. These are the people that take, never have anything to give, always have a sad story, always woe is me, always gimme, always I need. And you would think after living a certain number of years, you should have established something to where you can add value back to somebody else without always sucking other people absolutely dry. Now, when I say sucking dry, that is physically, that is emotionally, that is just everything about them just totally drains you. So you have no desire. You have no attachment at that point to where you care to even respond. You don't even care to see what's next. And so it's just the reality of it all. And not to hurt people or to put people down, but it's just you have to see it for what it is. Otherwise, you're going to keep making excuses for them. You're going to keep getting sucked in. You're going to continue with this emotional roller coaster, being manipulated, being a puppet on a string, etc., etc., etc. So those absolutely get none of my time. You have those that you both give mutual value to. And so these are those relationships to where you can say it's kind of like a marriage, a good marriage where it's 50-50. It's you give in to me, I'll give in to you. Uh, I'm supporting you, you're supporting me. No strings attached. We just genuinely love each other and we're there for each other. We can talk on the phone. We can visit one another. We can eat dinner together. We can go and hang out. We can, uh, we can share ideas. We can share our struggles. You give me advice or you let me vent and vice versa. It's one of those things, and they're not looking for anything in return. Now that is a relationship that is priceless. You don't have to talk or see each other or communicate every day, but when you do, it is a value on both sides. Then there is the relationship where they're adding value to you. And so this is that relationship, what it looks like, that one may be a little stronger than the other. So as one moves up, they know that the other is watching and learning and taking notes, and they're supporting one another. And so even though they're not on the level financially, or on the level business wise, or on the level age wise, or something like that, you add value to them, or they add value to you. And it may look one-sided, but I look at these as an investment, because they're invested in learning and growing and developing. It's like that teacher-student relationship where you know that there's potential there, and that they're going to learn all they can, and eventually you guys are going to be able to grow, and you're going to see them blossom into this beautiful thing. And so those are what these family ties look like, and they can look a range of things like that. But we know that it's time to absolutely reevaluate those ties that we have with our family, love them or not, when it crosses boundaries. When it crosses boundaries to where the relationship is no longer healthy. When the relationship is no longer healthy, that's when I believe it is time to absolutely break those ties. And when I say break those ties, you have to be as drastic or as intentional with your time and space with these people as you can tolerate. And when I say crosses the line or breaks those boundaries, I mean when the relationships become abusive. Now, whether that is a verbal abuse, whether it's a physical abuse, whether it's an emotional abuse, some of it could even potentially be a sexual abuse. It is at that point, in my perception, time to break the ties. Because I don't believe that abuse in any form, in any relationship, should be tolerated. So at that point, for me, it's a game changer. Now that's for me. Now for you, you make that decision, what it looks like for you. Okay? Also, guys, another thing, now that was one. When it becomes abusive, that means it has absolutely crossed the line. Number two, for me, I break ties when the relationship becomes one-sided. When the relationship becomes one-sided. Now, what that means is that When people add no value, and I mean absolutely no value to my life, that's one-sided. Because what I know I do is add value to whoever I'm around, whoever gets my time, whoever I'm having a conversation with, whoever is occupying the same space with me. I'm adding value. I just believe that. So for someone who does not add value to me, and it's a one-sided relationship, it's always about what they want. It's always about what you can give them. It's always about what they can manipulate you with today. It's always about they need you and can never help you. Can't even cook a meal so that you can come and eat. If nothing else, they always want to say they want to borrow something, and as long as you're giving, they're taking. But the minute you don't have to give, or you decide not to give, they're mad at you, they manipulate you, got terrible things to say about you, you're no good. Those one-sided relationships, for me, is a no-go. So I break the ties. Blood or no blood. Okay? Blood or no blood. One-sided relationships, that's a game changer for me. That's a no-go. So I break the ties. And last but not least, I just had 3. These is how I base whether or not I'm going to break those ties with you. Another, last but not least, is negativity. Negativity drains my spirit. And we cannot occupy the same space. All the time, nothing goes right for you. All the time, it's poor old me. All the time, it's a sad story. All the time, it's you got to blame it on the man. All the time, nothing works out for you. All the time, it's nah. So those are the 3 things that I weigh against breaking ties. And like I said, some of those ties are completely severed, no repair in sight. And some of those ties are stretched so thin that at any given moment it could tip and break. And some of the bonds are really tight. Some of the bonds are really tight, and I value those relationships. So this is where I stand. Wherever you stand, in whatever relationships you're thinking about whether or not to break those ties, or whether or not to decide whether or not they're worth saving, you guys have to make that decision for yourself. That is not a decision that me or anyone else should have that much power over you to make that decision for you. So in the comment section, what are some game changers for you? What are some things that would cause you to break family ties? And some of you, you may feel like there's nothing serious enough to cause you to break family ties. And that's perfectly okay. Like I said, we're each different. Our experiences are different. But for me, I have to protect my sacred place. I have to protect my sacred place. And with that being said, I don't want to put myself in a position to where I'm going to being abused. I don't want to put myself in a position to where someone's always taken from me. And I don't want to put myself in an environment that is negative, that plays on my psyche. And so that's what it is for me. And for you, it may look different, and that's okay. But for me, that's just the way it is. So I'm okay. I break ties. I don't feel guilty about it. I don't worry about being manipulated about it or feeling bad about it. It's who I am. It's how I function. And I don't apologize for it. So I hope that I have answered your questions tonight. If you understood or if the content was helpful for you, please hit that heart button, hit that like button. Let me know that you support this platform. Let me know that the conversation tonight has been helpful to you in understanding how to prioritize people in your life, how to prioritize your time and your space, and how to just be aware the people that are occupying your time and space, because you matter. And if you don't protect you, if you don't protect your psyche, if you don't value who's occupying your space, then you're going to just be drawn by anything. Okay? So we can't get better at putting the same thing in. When we're going to make changes in our life, we have to do some honest, open assessments in what that looks like. Everyone can't occupy your space at the same level. Okay? Nonetheless, guys, I still have my 1,000 people YouTube subscriber challenge going on. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, there in the comments section, there's a link that you can just click on. It take you right to my YouTube channel so that you can subscribe. There you will get the replays of all our Facebook Lives topics. Also, if you're not following me at Amazon, to where my books and things like that are being sold, there's a link to my Amazon where you can go and follow me there on Amazon. And nonetheless, there's a link to my website. On my website, there is information there, courses and resources that are there and available for you. Connect with me. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about tonight's topic, please message me. Put it in the comment section. Whatever it takes, I'm here for you. I'll be right back here tomorrow night with another audience pick topic. I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. Good night, everybody.